From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2253, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, January 6th, 2021. A small island in the Indian Ocean is poised to enter the world of amateur radio satellites in the new year.
Get ready for a history-making satellite to launch in February of 2021. Mauritius is preparing to send Mersat-1, the nation's first CubeSat, to the International Space Station. The nano-satellite will be carrying an amateur radio digipeater and a whole lot of national pride. It's the creation of a team of engineers from Mauritius working with a ham radio operator from the Mauritius Amateur Radio Society. The project was also a collaboration with AAC Clyde Space UK. MIR stands for Mauritius Infrared Satellite, MIR. According to the Mauritius Research and Innovation Council, the satellite will use the digipeater to enable experimental communication with other islands, both for emergency purposes and scientific research. The CubeSat will also collect land and ocean data. Management of ocean resources is a top priority of the Government of the Republic of Mauritius. It is expected to be deployed in May or June from the Japanese experimental module on board the ISS. MIR-SAT-1 has an expected lifetime of between 2 and 3 years, and during that time, it's expected to make ground contact with Mauritius 4 to 5 times daily. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
In an action that many hams throughout the U.S. had been watching closely for months, the Federal Communications Commission is now requiring amateurs to pay a $35 application fee for new licenses, renewals, and vanity call signs.
The controversial move by the agency is a modification of its earlier proposed fee of $50. The FCC announced its decision on December 29th after reviewing nearly 4,000 public comments submitted. Commissioners said they determined that amateurs who previously paid no fees for their licenses were not considered exempt from such payments. In other action, U.S. hams are also being required to post their email addresses in the FCC's Universal Licensing System, or ULS, enabling the agency to email their licenses to them. Hams may either log into the ULS itself or apply for an administrative update through a volunteer examiner coordinator. This change is an important step for hams because the FCC plans to use email for all notifications to licensees.
Newsline anchor Paul Brown, WD9GCO, reporting. December YOTA month is over, and now the wait begins for the awards.
Youngsters on the Air closed out a very active December YOTA month by announcing some good news for hams and shortwave listeners who chase YOTA stations. YOTA is now providing awards for SWLs as well as transmitting hams. SWLs need to register on the YOTA event website where they can log QSOs they heard on the air, qualifying them for awards at bronze, silver, gold, and platinum levels. SWLs are also able to use the website to request QSL cards after entering data about the QSO they heard. To receive these cards, listeners must have an SWL call sign and belong to a national society to use its QSL service. Meanwhile, as December YOTA month wrapped up its activity, organizers announced that award plaques were going to be presented in 7 categories: most stations contacted in CW, most stations contacted in SSB, most stations contacted in digital, and most stations contacted. Awards will be given to Best Overall Score OM, Best Overall Score YL, and Best Overall Score Youngster for operators younger than 26. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at arnewsline.org. With Graham Kemp, VK4BB, Paul Brown, WD9GCO, Andy Morrison, K9AWM, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe. I'm Don Wellbanks at E5DW 73. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.